all-knowing and all-powerful, starting with the elderly wolf uncle chapter 123. After all, before everyone else knew about this guy's quirks and inner darkness, he was the strongest of all superheroes, both in terms of appearance and ability. Chen Tian raised his eyebrows, and the expression on his face was slightly complicated. But in the end, the superheroes in the black-robed pickets are artificially created, and there is also the Walker Company that operates for profit behind them. Existences that were originally born for profit are certainly not comparable to those who choose to become superheroes because of the justice in their hearts. He kept thinking, and as he passed a newsstand, he bought another newspaper. Judging by the news above, the transparent people are still there. Butcher the Butcher has not yet begun his plan to take revenge on the people of his homeland. That is to say, in the eyes of most people in this world, the image of these superheroes is still positive. Chen Tian muttered, and the people who know their dark side are almost dead. Airplanes, airplanes. A roaring engine roared and suddenly approached Chen Tian's location at high speed. Chen Tian raised his eyes. On the road beside him, although the morning rush hour had been eased to a certain extent, there were still many vehicles. Under normal circumstances, it is impossible for a car to drive on the road at such a fast speed. Wait for him to raise his head. Sure enough, I saw a black Jeep ignoring the pedestrians and driving on the sidewalk at a frantic speed. Seeing this, Chen Tian narrowed his eyes. Turn on supervision and see that several people driving the car are wearing hoods and guns on their bodies. At the same time, there were also a lot of banknotes and gold piled up in the trunk. The 6 people in the car seemed to be robbers. Chen Tian muttered, but in a city, there are obviously 6 superheroes, but they will still choose chain robbery. Rumble. Just when his mind had just settled, a figure that fell from the sky crashed from the sky, fell down, smashed the ground, and stopped in front of the car. This is a woman. Wears brown leather clothing with shoulder pads, hand armor, headbands, and a black battle skirt. Long chestnut-colored wavy hair flutters in the wind. Bang! The woman appeared, AHCC, too quickly, and the car couldn't react at all, and directly hit the other party. Then, the vehicle was hit and stopped, and the entire front of the car was dented and twisted. The seemingly slim woman stood in place without being affected in the slightest, and she didn't even waver in her steps. Maeve. Chen Tian looked at the other party's back, smiled slightly, and recognized the woman's identity. Black Robe Picket World, Queen Maeve, one of the Super 6. Meanwhile, combat detected, rewarded, super defense, Queen Maeve. In Chen Tian's mind, a prompt sound sounded when the copy was successful. His body was then based on the body of steel, and all the skin musculoskeletal had increased some density. About 1/5 of a point? Chen Tian was not surprised. After all, Maeve was the second combat power of the Black Robe in the later period. The closest to the motherland. In terms of defense, it is estimated that it can also withstand the existence of nuclear bombs. The other side. Queen Maeve noticed Chen Tian, who was standing motionless in place, thinking that the boy was frightened. Frightened? Huh, it's okay, now I'm here. She had a kind and bright smile on her face, and her soothing voice was gentle and beautiful. I have to say that the other party can be selected by Walker to become a nationally renowned superhero. In addition to ability, there are also reasons for appearance. Bang! But before Chen Tian could say anything, several robbers in the opposite car had already pushed the car door and stumbled to leave. Seeing this, Queen Maeve did not frown, and was about to go up to block it. Phew! A blue and red figure, with a billowing wind, fell from the sky and blocked the robbers in advance. Zoo, people of the motherland. The robbers looked at the blonde man in front of them, with a terrified expression on their faces and trembling voices. We were wrong, please. The robbers just wanted to go out and beg for mercy. Airplanes. The handsome face of the motherland had a smile on it, and his eyes suddenly bloomed with a brilliant red luster. 2 crimson beams swept by. The upper half of the robbers' heads were swept into slag by the beam of light wrapped in rolling power. Boom. 6 corpses with only half of their heads left smashed on the ground one after another, and red blood gurgled out from the remaining half of the heads, spreading in a blink of an eye. Combat detected, rewarded. Hot site, motherland. Combat detected, rewarded. Flying, motherland. The other side. Chen Tian also successfully copied the other party's ability. The heat vision is also superimposed with the heat vision obtained from Dachau. He felt it. The hot site of the people of the motherland is actually not lost to the young clerk. Well, sure enough, coming to find Azu's ability to copy is a correct decision. It can save me a lot of time to improve. Chen Tian muttered and set his eyes on the corpses of several robbers lying on the ground. Glanced at the motherland again. The brains of these guys are penetrated by hot sight, and they are worthy of being cruel to fellow countrymen. Unfortunately, the police will most likely not kill. Robbery is commonplace in the United States. Unless forced to, the police will never shoot to kill. Now these few poor insects met the people of the motherland and directly dried through the brain. And the people of the motherland noticed Chen Tian's gaze, and a kind smile suddenly appeared on his face. Don't worry, with us, the problem has been solved. Quote, are you looking at me to take a picture with me? I have no problem. He is an extremely narcissistic guy who cares a lot about the eyes of the masses and enjoys the adoration of everyone who adores him. It is also because of this that he will be restrained by Walker. Not interested. Beyond the imagination of the people of the motherland, Chen Tian shook his head in the face of his initiative and enthusiasm. When Queen Maeve next to her heard this, she was shocked in her heart. Others don't know the motherland, but she knows that this teammate zero of herself, no one dares to talk to him like this. And the motherland's cold reaction to the teenager in front of him is equally unbelievable. Are you sure? In his azure eyes, an imperceptible anger and killing intent suddenly surged. Dare to give him face so much. In front of such an ordinary person, the people of the motherland can kill as much as they want. No one can stop him as long as he wants. Motherlanders, we still have a press conference to attend, but we can't be late. Queen Maeve observed her words, and at the same time knew the character of the motherland, and realized that something was wrong and immediately stood up. Let's go quickly, otherwise we stay on the street, and there will be many passers-by coming up to watch, and we have no time to waste here. Saying that, she kept hinting at the other party with her eyes, there is a lot of people here, don't lose control at will. When the people of the motherland heard this, they looked at the masses who had already gathered towards this side, and the gloom under their eyes became heavier and heavier. However, he still forced a smile to greet the crowd. Don't worry, here we are. The words fell. The people of the motherland immediately flew away from the scene with Queen Maeve, and before leaving, they still couldn't help but turn around and take a deep look at Chen Tian. First chapter.